The city inspector handed me my certificate of occupancy and said, "Congratulations, building's up to code." I looked at the document, then at my building. "You didn't inspect anything. You were here for 7 minutes." Inspector Martinez smiled. "I know a good build when I see one. The HVAC system isn't even installed yet. Minor details. The certificate is valid." He drove away. I should have been relieved, but something felt wrong. I called 3 other contractors. Same story. Martinez showed up. 7 minutes. Passed everything. I dug into public records. Martinez had inspected 847 buildings in 5 years. His pass rate, 99.2%. City average, 61%. I started visiting buildings he'd certified. The first had exposed wiring in the stairwell. The second had load-bearing walls with visible cracks. The third had no working fire suppression system. All occupied. Families living in structures that were never actually inspected. I hired a structural engineer to assess 3 Martinez-certified buildings. This building has foundation settling. Significant risk of partial collapse within 5 years. This building's electrical system is 1 surge away from a major fire. This building has hidden mold throughout the HVAC system. Residents are breathing toxic spores. Then I followed the money. Martinez owned a modest house on an inspector's salary, but also a Florida condo purchased with $340,000 cash. A boat, 2 cars worth more than his annual income. A contractor finally admitted the truth. Everyone knows. You pay him $5,000, he passes your building. No questions. 10 years. Hundreds of buildings. Thousands of residents and structures never properly inspected. The city inspector general launched an audit. What they found was horrifying. Martinez accepted $2.1 million in bribes over 12 years. Passed 834 buildings without proper inspection. 247 had serious code violations. 89 were rated immediately dangerous. And 3 had already had incidents. A fire in a Martinez-certified building killed 2 people last year. A mother and her 4-year-old son. Investigation blamed faulty wiring. A balcony collapse injured 4 people. A teenager named Marcus might never walk again. A ceiling cave-in put a child in the hospital. Rotted support beams from water damage Martinez never checked. I asked the inspector general if I could be there when they arrested him. That's unusual. He certified my building without inspecting it. He's been taking bribes for 12 years while people die in buildings he approved. I need to see this end. They agreed. The permits office. Martinez was at his desk when we walked in. He saw the investigators, then saw me. His face twisted with rage. You did this. You did this. I just showed people the evidence. I held up the structural engineer's reports. 247 buildings with serious code violations. 89 rated immediately dangerous. All certified by you. I was helping contractors, cutting through bureaucracy. 2 people died in a fire in a building you certified. Elena Vasquez and her son Miguel, 4 years old. I held up his financial records. $340,000 cash for a Florida condo. $2.1 million in bribes over 12 years. That's what their lives were worth to you. They cuffed him at his desk. His colleagues watched through the glass partition. A teenager named Marcus fell through a balcony you certified as safe. He might never walk again. Martinez said nothing. A child is in the hospital because a ceiling collapsed. Water damage rotted the support beams. Your inspection report says you checked structural integrity. I checked what I needed to check. You checked nothing. 7 minutes. That's how long you spent in my building. The HVAC wasn't even installed. They pulled him toward the door. 834 buildings, I said. 12 years. And every time a contractor handed you $5,000, you signed off without looking. Everyone does it. Everyone doesn't have 2 people dead and a teenager paralyzed. I held up the photo of Elena and Miguel Vasquez. You want to tell her husband you were just cutting through bureaucracy? He looked away. They walked him past the contractors waiting for inspections, past the people who'd paid him for years. Your inspection reports are public record, I said. 7 minutes. No violations found. Over and over. Did you think nobody would ever check? I've been doing this 20 years. And for 12 of those years, you've been taking money to look the other way while people move into death traps. They pushed him through the doors. I followed them to the parking lot. Held up the certificate of occupancy he'd given me. You told me my building was up to code. The HVAC wasn't installed. You were there 7 minutes. He had nothing to say. The car door opened. 2 people burned to death trusting your signature. They pushed him inside. I watched the car pull away. He'd counted on nobody asking questions. On contractors wanting speed over safety. Wrong contractor.